Well, so when we're ready with those inserts, we'll record them for you. But I'm a Pratt. What's the, since the incident yesterday, the line of communication at the presidency and then in government?
Well, I mean, I'm observing all of this, you know, like you are, Roland. I'm watching this drama, you know, unfold like every other Ghanaian, and honestly, I'm in disbelief, you know, by the way things are going. I just heard, you know, the Honorable Afenyo Makin, and I haven't seen this video. I'm watching this video for the first time. Say that they want to uphold truth and democracy. I mean, that's what he just said, right? They want to uphold truth and democracy. Well, would they please just do that? Would they please just uphold truth and democracy, right? You've made such damning allegations against the government and by extension the state. And I get very uneasy when people say, oh, he just sort of brought it out there. No, he didn't. It wasn't questions that he raised. No, that's not what he did. He made a very categorical, you know, statement that he has chosen to back continuously since he made the first one. I mean, so after the press conference, he could have backtracked when it was pointed out to him the gravity of what he had just done. He could have quickly done that. I think he did in a way, because then he took it to Parliament now asking for explanation. But his personal utterances, you know, and the posturing of the NPP as a political party and as a caucus in Parliament could have shown us a certain responsibility that, okay, we may have made a blunder, you know, in our choice of words and in the way that we chose to express when we called the press conference. But upon hindsight, you know, let's temper, you know, the politics with responsibility and be responsible lawmakers. But no, go and read his tweets since then. Every tweet the Reverend Ntim Fordjour has made since this is cocaine buying, cocaine spokesperson, cocaine.
So what's your point? That is just mere politicking?
I'm not even there yet. My point is that when you do that, it's not a question of allegation. It's not a question of questions. When you categorically insist that the government and the whole country is involved in drug trafficking and money laundering, and you have somebody, it goes as far as His Excellency the President of the country come and say, oh wow, I need all of the state investigative agencies to collaborate with you so we get to the truth of this matter. That he has zero tolerance for drug trafficking and for money laundering. He says he wouldn't even allow for Ghana to be a transit point, not the end recipients of the cocaine and the money laundering activities, even as a transit point. He doesn't want Ghana even as a transit point. So please, all investigative bodies collaborate with a member of Parliament, the lawmaker, legislator, and let's get to the bottom of this. You want to uphold truth and democracy. Investigative bodies have come to you. Let's go and uphold truth and democracy. And you hold a press conference shielded by your fellow MPs, and you say, no, we will not collaborate, but we want to uphold truth and democracy. Are we going to do this spiritually? This holding of truth and democracy,
he should have appealed himself.
Is it going to be done spiritually? Are we going to do it telepathically?
The response they had at the time is that there are processes and procedures if you want to invite a member of Parliament to come and then give evidence or collaborate with state agencies in this vexed matter. Okay,
did he know that when he called the press conference? Did he know about processes? Did he know about processes and procedures in dealing with these matters when he called a press conference? When subsequent to that he started announcing exposés. Come with me to this studio for exposé number 1, exposé number 2, did he know about processes? And you see, the NPP needs to understand, right, that yes, opposition is important. I will never sit here and speak about a government that has no opposition. Ghana will not benefit from a situation like that. Opposition is important. We need a responsible opposition to keep this government on its toes, to check all of us, to keep all of us, you know, acting responsibly, being accountable to the people of this country. But you see, an irresponsible opposition is a danger. It's a danger to this country. Look at the conversation we are having this morning. Look at the publicity, the light we are shining on ourselves as a country. Does the NPP understand the implications of what is happening? You're not accusing an individual of cocaine. You are accusing a whole state, the whole state apparatus, you know, and for what? So that you can have your moments under the light. So that you can have your moments of glory, of exposés, of jama'ing, if there's anything like that. You know, where you rabble rouse your people to your house and you call press conferences and you sing and you... Listen, it's a new era. And it's so unfortunate that as a political party, they are choosing to go down this rabbit hole. I mean, because all of this will settle, right? We have the proper agencies coming out to explain that we have gone on these aircrafts. We have checked these aircrafts. There's no cocaine on there. No money laundering is involved. You see, for me, and I said this somewhere else yesterday, all of these exposés will end, right? So right now we are Nikki picking. We are saying that, oh, the color of the aircraft in this picture is wrong. It's a different color here. We are saying that, oh, the aircraft did not go through this route. It went through that route. Nitty picking. I'm saying that tomorrow they will come up with another expose that says, well, the pilot wore a yellow shirt. He did not wear a brown shirt. And we'll do all of these things. But you see, we will finally get to the point where you have to prove that there was cocaine and money laundering. It will be done. All of this will settle. You mean you'll be called before the investigative agencies? I mean, are we going to leave this hanging? Do you want this left hanging on the conscience of this country? No. As a Ghanaian, I need to see finality to this matter. You can have all the press conferences that you want. You can, but you see, all of this will settle. And then when it settles, what's the NPP going to say about his conduct? Forget the Reverend Ntim Fordjour. I think for him, he's loving the attention. He's loving all the exposés it's giving him. He's enjoying his moments of glory, which is great. Politicians love that. Good on him. But when the dust settles, where does this leave us? Where is responsible and accountable opposition? Because perhaps the NPP doesn't understand. For me, it's not about winning elections, right? And this has... He said he's playing his oversight role. This? Yeah, he said, well, this? He's raised a concern. When you wake up he expects the security agencies to come out with evidence to support, because that's a suspicion. So tomorrow, as a private citizen, I wake up in the morning, I say, oh, I saw Roland walk into TV3 this morning. Roland must be selling tomatoes in the studio. And then when you ask me for proof, I say, well, Roland, you prove it. I am exercising my duties as a citizen of this country. I'm a whistleblower. I've blown a whistle. Right? You give us nothing and say, I've given some facts. You give us essentially nothing. The fact that the plane landed here, nobody's contesting. The fact that, you know, it did not come again, I've said this, to carry out its core function, you know, as an airmaid, that's not what it came to do. We've been given credible information as to what happened. The Honorable Felix Kwachofosu has explained exactly what the situation was. Still, you say, no, these are my facts. Now, you, the one that I'm accusing, come and prove it. In which law book do we use the exception to the rule as the rule? Where you the one that's alleging, you are saying, no, I won't prove. You, the one I'm accusing. Well, he says oversight. He's clothed with the powers to do that. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. All of this is ridiculous. So, having observed all this, now culminating in that incident at his house yesterday, would you say, or do you think, that the minority and the embattled member of parliament are overly sensationalizing this, or perhaps too much aggrandizing the role that they have to play, and then the effort, so to speak, being the response that they are playing oversight roles in this matter?
Okay. Anyway, good morning.
Morning.
We are politicians, and politicians, or some politicians, are wont to theatrics and everything. But the security agencies have given them the opportunity to do that. So they have been given the platform and they are doing the theatrics, and we are all watching. But as a matter of curiosity, he's a reverend for which church? His own private church?
I think he has his own church also, or Victory.
Okay,
church, yeah.
So
but he's a reverend.
He's a reverend.
Victory Bible Church.
Okay.
I hope not.
Are you a member of Victory Bible Church?
I mean,
we'll look for it. I'll look for his assembly.
His own church. Okay, that's fine. I just curiosity.
What's that got to do with? Because.
Oh, your
question is character.
Maybe I'm not questioning his character. I mean, I am questioning the posturing. Maybe I have a certain idea of how men of the cloth are supposed to behave in certain ways, and maybe in the normal curve, he's not behaving in the way that you would think that supposedly a man of God should behave. Because I would think, and this is why I think, that if, as he's a ranking member for Defense and Interior, if he found something that is wrong, that goes to tarnish the image of this country, it's not about the politics, but the image of this country, the first thing to do would not to be sit at a press conference and blare things out. You know, he has a certain privileged position of being a member of parliament, of being the ranking member for Defense and Interior. I'm sure that he could always ask to meet the security agencies and say, look, this has come to my attention and it doesn't do well for the image of this country, you know, and maybe do that and nothing happens. Then you can say that, one, I want to take another step to ensure that something happens. Can he tell us for a fact that he took the quiet route of, you know, safeguarding the image of this country? We have a lot of politicians who really don't care about this country. All theirs is to do some grandstanding and, you know, cloak it and make it look.
You think that's what he's doing?
I'm saying my thing. So let me say my thing.
Yes, please.
And let people.
I'm not putting words in your mouth.
Let people judge for themselves.
Okay, sir.
Whether this is some behavior of somebody who has love for this country and takes a certain action. Because you try certain measures, and if it doesn't work, then you said, look, now I'm going to go public with it because I have tried the quiet way. I have tried to save this country's face and things like that, and I'm not getting the response that is required. So maybe if he's done that, fine. But has he done that? I don't believe so, because the way he's hopping from station to station, he would have said that, look, I would love for this country and ensuring this, and I quietly went to the security agencies, I said this, and nobody took notice of it, and this has forced me to come out to do what I am doing. None of that. Okay. I've heard him, you know, sometimes borderline trying to accuse even the president, you know, of certain complicity in this thing, and I'm like, wow, really, you know. But you see, we have allowed our politics to degenerate to this point sometimes, you know, and we get the politicians doing their grandstanding and the theatrics, and maybe because we encourage it and we you know, I don't know, it goes on and on and on, and because of that, certain people have just switched off and don't want to even know.
Very apathetic. So the politics of the day.
To the politics of the day, and you look, you can pick 10 Ghanaians off the street and ask them that. So what do you think is happening? What are the current things? And they're like, we don't care. We're going about our normal businesses, because the grandstanding, and we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't allow that to happen. But coming back to
the incident yesterday.
The incident yesterday, I think that the security forces could have also found a better way of going about it. We know that members of parliament have certain privileges. It's not a right, it's a privilege. Okay, they have certain privileges that you have to go through if you want to do that. This person, he's not about to run away. He's a member of parliament. He's not about to run away. We don't need the Gestapo type of thing that went on. Okay, go through the normal process. He's not about to run away. Go through, if you have to go through the speaker, write a letter to the speaker, have to interview him in the speaker's things. Do the things that everybody would also look at you and say, look, they have done it by the book. and because they have done it by the book, and this person, it actually shows up the person if the person is hollow. You get it, because when you go by the book, because when you do incidences like this, then this becomes the topic instead of the person's behavior and the thing that the person is doing. Then this becomes the topic, and then we are like, oh, as security people, da, 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 da. We've had enough of that kind of nonsense. You were looking for the tape.
No, I'll recall it for you after.
Yeah, the tape.
Or should you?
No, with this mass
Please let me record them for so that you can continue.
Okay.
So that said,
I'm not landed yet, but our security agents, that show of brutal force,
bravado.
Yeah, it's
British.
It is British. It is
Gestapo-like.
Gestapo-like. It's unhealthy. It's
Revolutionary style.
Those who actually, it's unnecessary. Those who actually have power. Power is quiet and power is silent. And power, is menacing in its silence. Look, if they had done the right thing quietly, and they had actually gone through the procedure quietly, if this man, this member of parliament, given that maybe he is not speaking the truth, I don't know, you understand, it would have been even more fearful for him. He would have even been more afraid, because it would have shown up his character, it would have shown that he's not this kind of thing. He's going to hide behind it and do more, and probably still be hopping from station.
You mean instead of the substance of what he said, whether it's true or untrue, becoming the subject, this one rather has become the subject.
Has become the subject. And then we're going to go off on the tangent, and you find people in the street who are not going to listen to the substance of the matter and are going to go more on the tangent of it. Right now, I'm sure if you pick 10 NPP, what do you call it? Food soldiers or apparatus, they don't even know. They say, oh, we cocaine for me now. They are not even going to rationalize it. You understand? So I think that, like we said, power can be menacing when it is silent and when you do it by the book. We should move away from this Gestapo, British, Neanderthal kind of behavior and go to the more subtle, more powerful way of doing things, and do it by the book. You understand? So that nobody has the opportunity to do this kind of grandstanding. Some people want to launch their political careers with this. You get it? So that they can say that, oh, when there was a crisis, you saw me and
So this is grandstanding?
Well, I mean,
outdooring of a Messiah?
That is going to happen. But given that some people say they are men of God, they will probably want to see that.